Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Police Accountability Show. And remember, when you watch the Police Accountability Show, you agree to being offended, as well as nothing you see on the Police Accountability Show constitutes legal advice. Please seek out your local lawyers for your local laws. And welcome everyone, and welcome to another Police Accountability Show. I'm your host, Chad Christophers. And today our topic is, should we be allowed to defend ourselves, not just with guns, not just against people, but against the police as well? Should we be allowed to defend ourselves with guns? And I believe the answer is yes. Why? Because we can't make them go away. We can't disinvent them. We can't make them disappear. They've been around hundreds of years, and there are probably, who knows, maybe even more guns than there are people on our planet in this point. There are definitely more bullets, which isn't really funny, even though I'm kind of laughing. It's kind of an uncomfortable thing, right? So, and you really got to think about it. Why do we need to defend ourselves with guns? Because that's the world that we live in. That's one of the tools of the people that are robbing people, are that attacking people, unfortunately, is the gun. And having guns ourselves, knowing how to use guns, and the other tools to protect ourselves makes us feel safer in our communities. I think a lot of anti-gun is a lot of anti-I don't understand, and I do understand some people are just scared of guns. I can respect that. Not everyone likes everything, certainly not in our world. Everyone is indifferent on the inside as they are on the outside, and their feelings are all different. There's many people out there that could never pick up a gun and shoot and defend themselves, and that's where I think a lot of the disconnect is, because we have a lot of people who feel that way, who could never see themselves go out and defend themselves with a gun. But at the end of the day, guns are a part of our society. Right? The police do not protect us. They don't. They can't, because they can't stand beside us at all times. They can only show up after. They can only be a deterrent. They are law enforcers. Well, they do protect the law. In that sense, they do protect you, because if someone breaks the law against you, they can enforce the law against that person. But it is not their duty as officers to stand there and protect you or to stop people from punching you. If you get hit, they can charge you after, because now you've done something. And if you've ever had a real problem with the police, you're being harassed, you got people following you. And I've actually experienced that. I've experienced having people follow you, people rob you. And I'll tell you right now, the police, they're going to make up their excuses. And that's about it. Until they've actually physically hit you or broken a law against you, you'd be surprised at how much someone can destroy your life. So it's not about wanting guns. It's guns exist. We need to accept it. And we need to have guns to defend ourselves against the people who can't control themselves. The people who are hunting and gathering, the people who, are committing crimes. In places where people embrace guns, not only are they able to get, and as an example, you could get a small, weak woman to defend themselves against a whole group of rapists. Against it, there is a saying that Samuel Colt said. I'm sorry I'm not quoting it right or correctly, but, God created man, and Samuel Colt made all men equal. I'm saying the quote wrong, so I apologize. But it's an understanding where he made all men equal, because literally you could give a little kid, an old lady, a gun, and they can defend themselves against an entire gang. It really does make everyone equal, in a sense where anyone who can pick up and use a gun is equal to anyone else who can pick up and use a gun. It's not about who's physically strongest, who's the fastest, who's the anything. There is, of course, a speed in getting the gun out and shooting and drawing. That was definitely something of the old Wild West that we used to see with duels and things like that. But that's just it. Everyone used to carry them. People defend themselves, and gun crime's lower. Right? It really comes down to having everyone understand guns, know guns and know how to responsibly, because I know one of the things that holds back gun laws are accidents. You know, my kid gained access to this. Kids are smart. They'll gain access to your most sensitive areas in your house no matter how much you lock them up, because they're sneaky. They're kids, right? And kids get a hold of guns, they hurt themselves. People get a hold of guns when they're just angry and upset and they do something stupid, right? So that's one of the downsides, and there's more downsides than that, definitely. The upsides are you can defend yourself. So it's hard to really say, and that's where you see such a divide around the world on guns, whether we need them, whether we don't need them. Personally, I'm more on the side of caution. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Other huge advantages to having a population with lots of guns is no one's going to come into your country, no other countries. Look what's going on in Ukraine right now. You know what I mean? Try to do that to a country like the United States where like everyone's got guns. There's more guns in the United States than I think that the Army has. People have more guns there and ammunition. And I wouldn't go running around in there trying to take it over because everyone would shoot you. Right? And then there's countries where conscription is still in place, where everyone in the country has fully automatic weapons and knows how to use them. Not kidding you, because every single person in that country is considered part of their army. Right? So that's something to take into consideration, because we're trying to solve all these gun problems. You know, you see in the United States especially, you know, with these mass shootings all the time is a nightmare. It's an absolute terrible travesty. But the bottom line is, no matter how hard we try, we're not going to get the guns away from these people. So the matter of ending gun crime isn't going to be about taking guns away from everyone, because we can't disinvent them. We can't get rid of them. They're going to be there. It's going to be about us helping the sick people who want to take a gun and shoot someone. We need to help them before they do that. And two, we need to have people have guns, know how to use guns, and feel safe around guns, knowing how to use them, how to be responsible with them, so that we don't make mistakes, so we don't have accidents with them, so we don't do stupid things with them. Tell me what you think. Should we increase gun laws? Should we decrease gun laws? I think that we should arm everyone who wants to be armed. I believe in the right to bear arms. It is one of the fundamental, it is the Second Amendment in the United States, in the biggest, longest lasting republic the world has seen that I'm aware of, right? I'm certainly not an expert on all the civilizations that have come and fallen our planet, but I can see the United States is one of the most freest examples of countries I've ever seen or read about. And in their Second Amendment is the right to bear arms to protect themselves from who would have been the king's men, right? And is it really to protect yourself from the king's men? No, the king's men aren't necessarily bad guys, but it's to protect yourself from the corruption of the king's men. And who are the king's men today? The police. The police. We can defend ourselves from police corruption with the guns, right? Cops aren't going to go around pulling their guns, shooting people if they're scared of it. That's why you see so many shootings, and I believe with defenseless kids, defenseless people, more so than you see gun battles with the cops and bad guys. And why? Because the cops are too scared of all the criminals that have guns to fight with them in the first place, right? So gun laws, are the cops going to protect us? No. Do we need guns? I believe so. My vote is guns for all, education about guns for all, and safety for all. And so that we can all defend ourselves, defend our brothers and sisters, defend our neighbors, cousins, aunts and uncles and grandparents from whatever danger there may be out there. From, people have mental health issues or just corrupt politicians and police. We should be allowed to defend ourselves. It should be a fundamental right of every single person. Tell me in the comments, what do you think? This has been another Police Accountability Show. Don't work too hard.